Hey guys, what's up? Today, a rambly video. I want to talk to you about the state of Dragon Ball Breakers Season 5 in general, matchmaking, all that good jazz. And I would say, let's just start. As you may or may not know, I made first impressions about Season 5 and I was fairly positive. I think they nailed Goku Black, the aesthetic, the voice lines, the kid is really good. Fairly toxic, you can snipe across the map and so on. A lot changed, a lot changed. A lot of people thought Goku Black is OP. I mean, he's strong in comparison to other raiders, of course, but the power creep from survivors, the perks, it has gotten ridiculous. You can get your dragon change back in an instant pretty much. You can be really agile, you can, use instant descent, instant rise into Jakko ship, then the zipline, and you actually steal a lot of time from the raider and you buy a lot of time for the survivors, your team pretty much. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of raiders don't really have that much of a kit or a good enough kit to actually deal with that. And it is getting really frustrating. As Survivor, I like to play both sides. As Survivor, I have no problem winning the game. It doesn't matter if it's rank Z5, Raider or whatever, level 100. If you have a fairly decent team, just need 3 to 4 people that know what they are doing and the Raider is done pretty much. This is really a problem because this leads to body camping, tunneling, and all that nasty toxic shit. The ranking system that they implemented doesn't help with that either, because people want to rank up, they want to get rewards, they want to be competitive. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there's no casual mode, and the health of the game is really in shambles right now, in my opinion. For me, it isn't fun to get body camped at the first minute or the few seconds if you're unlucky. If you, for example, have a Broly as an opponent and he rushes towards you and you're sitting there with your pants down, you can't really get away that much. You are at Dragon Change 0, for example, and what are you gonna do now? Of course, instant rise and Jakku chip are helpful in that regard, but you are not invincible, of course, and it is a shame, I think. Other raiders, for example, I love Cell. Good luck fighting people with Cell, especially if you are level 2 or level 3. Granted, the key plus have gotten better. They actually buffed them, but it's not enough for certain raiders. You don't really have a break strike. I mean, after image into Solar Flare is really good, but if you land it, because we got into the another issue, there seems to be hit connect issues and some weird issues with crossplay. If you fight on the same platform, for example, you have a lot of PlayStation 5 players, it's not that big of an issue, but if you have PlayStation players, then Switch players, then PC players, it gets really wonky. Like, your hits as Raider don't connect properly anymore. Survivors hit insane shit they shouldn't even hit in the first place. At least it looks on your screen like that. Doesn't matter if you have a good connection or bad connection. Sometimes it feels like it's better to actually have a bad connection. It is a whole mess. And I wished the developers would tackle these things. I hope with Season 6 they will. It is copium though. Then, the matchmaking, it's gotten so much worse. Even Season 4 was better in my opinion. And this was already a mess. This was where I started to play the game. And I immediately noticed the issues, the glaring issues. Now you get into matches, you're not even the raider. You come into a match, there are just 3 other survivors. Imagine, this is shitty for both sides. Imagine this is now your only radar game, because we still don't have radar queues. We have this stupid priority system, which I find it's awful. It's genuinely awful. There is no reason with crossplay enabled to have no radar queue. People want to play radar, and maybe you would say, yeah, there wouldn't be enough survivors, but let's be honest here. Of course, if this feature comes out, the queues might be a bit rough, but this will normalize. Like, there are people that love to play both sides. There are people that just play one side. These people should have the option. Again, it isn't a lot of fun if you get stomped as Raider. You play 1 hour to 2 hours of games as Survivor to finally get in your Raider match, and then you get waffle stomped because people are running unfair shit. It's not fun, and I don't know why the developers can't see this. I don't know, do they not play their own game? It looks like it, because someone who plays this game will notice this right away, and this needs to be addressed. I actually made a ticket, a support ticket, and I got an answer. I had made a feedback ticket telling them about all these issues, and the reply that I got was that I should open ports on my router. I did this just to humor this. It didn't fix it, of course. The matchmaking was still bugged. I get into, sometimes, not all the time, but if you play over a few hours, it is noticeable, like in matches where 3 to 4, even 5 survivors are missing, and I am not even the radar. Unbelievable. I put a lot in that ticket. I didn't even bother to answer. I got an support form later where I gave them a ranking, and I told them that the response I got was idiotic. Like, it really was idiotic. It didn't help. It didn't address anything. They didn't even say, we are sorry, we will forward this. Nothing of that nature. Just open ports. Yeah, dude, I can, pull down my pants. It won't help. It won't help with your broken game. And it is a shame, because I love this game. There are so many small details which I love. The sounds, the animations, even the little lobby shenanigans. There's so much charm and potential in this game, and I see them doing the exact same mistakes that pretty much Dead by Daylight does, and I want to actually pull out my hair. I love also Dead by Daylight. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight, but Dead by Daylight is in a really bad state. It is so sweaty, and this game now is too. And because of power creep, because of the unwillingness to, try to actually offer some more modes or queues like the radar queue, an optional ranking system would be really good, that casual players could play casually. And, I get the approach or the thinking with, this game isn't that big, so it can't support it. In my opinion, it certainly can support a radar queue. And to be honest, if you don't do these changes and keep it at that, of course this game will never have the player base, because it is awful in some regards, just god awful, even though I love it. But it is god awful. It is so frustrating. To come back, to the broken perks, I also can understand when people say this is pay to win. You can earn pretty much everything in-game. You can, you just need to play a lot. But even then, if you're unlucky, till this day, I don't have instant rice, for example. As a short example. Then there are others. There's the refrigerator, which thankfully not a lot of people have this, but I saw it in action. It is god awful for the health of the game. Like, my god, this is bad. Like, you can't give survivors more powerful transiers, more powerful passives and actives, and then the raiders don't get anything. At this point, every single Raider, maybe minus Goku Black to an extent, and Broly, every other Raider needs a rework. If you have people that jump you at level 1, you need break strikes and all that. Like, Jesus Christ. You might think otherwise, but I see these issues, and they are hurting the game really bad. I generally don't want to make negative videos because I still love this game, but I think this needs to be said. Make a Raider queue, at least try with the crossplay enabled. Work on the matchmaking. You get into matches where you're like, why? I D-ranked from S5 to A5, no, to A3, because I was just facing Z5 ranks, like level 300 Z5 ranks, and my cell was level 60. This is unacceptable. You can't do this. I also saw I was facing as survivor, I'm Z3 as a C1. Like, huh? That is not a way to get more people into the game. They play 1 or 2 times and they are gone. You can't do this. I don't think this is rocket science. I am really baffled on what the developers are doing. You need to do something. I heard in Japanese regions, this is not as sweaty and people play differently. That is awesome. I tried also to tell people, hey, don't do this, this is toxic, don't do that. But it doesn't work for the Western audience. We are fairly competitive. And you need to do actual balancing things and stuff like this. It's really frustrates me. That's also why I have some backlog there with videos, but why I pretty much stopped doing videos, because when I play, I just want to have fun, I would also like to rank up, but it is really miserable sometimes, most of the time, and there's also a huge issue. The matchmaking time has gotten also much worse. How is this possible? The matchmaking was almost better in Season 4, not maybe for Steam, but for other platforms, like PlayStation 5. I can't even get into games with other fellow content creators anymore. I don't know what is going on. Is there a block, a region block or something like this? If so, remove that. Why do you even bother implementing crossplay when you put in a region block? It's mind-boggling to me. Like, genuinely mind-boggling. And there are also other issues. I didn't want to tell people, but I got a comment from a guy which actually does this strategy, and no blame to him. I completely understand. This game is so broken. You could actually easily rank up to Z5 even as Raider. You just block everyone that is above you or a premate. You block them, you might have a little bit worse matchmaking time, which not really, because it's already broken, and then you can easily rank up. Please don't do this, but this is something you can just abuse. You just can't block everyone and you don't get into matches anymore with them. That is a huge issue. I mean, of course, if you block someone, you don't want to face them, and there's a good reason, because you have a lot of AFKers or people fighting over Dragon Balls and they throw the game, which is also really stupid, but this is a player issue. But yeah, you can abuse the system. Like, what is going on? You can't have something like this in-game with no nuances. This has gotten to the point where I'm actually not even spending money on the game anymore, because I'm not that confident at the moment that they actually will fix stuff. I would love to throw my money at these developers because, again, I love this game. But at the moment, nah. Fix your shit. And sorry if I am really toxic and direct here, but my god, you can't do this with your player base. You already have a huge dedicated player base that sticks with your game through thick and thin, and then you treat them like this. or you treat us like this. There needs to be some thought put into this. This is not a party game. Even, you can't put rank into a party game. If it's truly a party game, then it needs to be a party game and not competitive. I don't know. Am I, speaking another language here? Am I dumb or something like this? Guys, please let me know in the comments, do the YouTube things on me. And before I rant on for too long, I think you get the gist of this. And yeah, I hope this will get better, because I think this game has a lot of potential. Have a good one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day, guys. Stay safe out there. Vincent out. Bye bye.